The annual keep or sell for Manchester United. In this video, we'll be going through each player from the squad, giving you a keep or sell from them, talking about the future at the football club. And obviously, we know it's going to be a huge clear out for Manchester United this summer. So let's get into it, starting off with the goalkeepers. Andre Onana. Now, for me, he'd be a sell. I think for Manchester United, he's just not enough not a good enough keeper. I think, listen, you look at him at Ajax, Inter, he was a decent keeper, and then when he came to Manchester United, big money move, £47.5 million. He hasn't quite lived up to the hype and expectation. He has too many mistakes in him, and I think probably after that Lyon game was the final straw for me. I think he's had a lot of sort of bad moments against, even last season, he cost us Champions League. Like, he's just not a good goalkeeper, so I'd look at selling him. Buying this sell again, another keeper who's not good enough, has got a mistake in him. He's just not good enough to be a second choice at Manchester United. Listen, he's had some good moments in the shirt, like that Arsenal moment where we saved the penalty from Havertz and Odegaard. But other than that, he's just not a good enough keeper, so I'd sell Bayinda. Tom Heaton, now I think he's going to get an extra year, so he'd be someone I'd keep. I think he's not a problem. He's just a third choice keeper, goes around there. Apparently he's he's an influential figure in the dressing room as well, so he'd be someone I'd obviously look at keeping for another season. But I think a goalkeeper is someone we have to bring in. Who that is, we don't know. Now, in terms of defenders, Lindelof, obviously he has been released on a free agent, so he would be a sell. Mazraoui a keep. I think signings like Mazraoui are important for Manchester United. We haven't made enough of them. 12 to 15 million pound signings, or below the 20 million mark, who kind of utility players, can fit in numerous of positions. Mazraoui can play right centre back, left wing back, right wing back. He's a very, very good player to have, and I think one of the better signings that we've made in recent years. Now, De Ligt, an interesting one. Listen, he struggled for the last couple of months with injury. He obviously came back against Brentford and then got another injury. De Ligt for me would be a keep. I think the money which we got him for at the age he is, he's a leader, he's a quality player. In a back three, he might not be that player that you want to progressively carry the ball, but I just don't think at this current moment he's someone to sell for Manchester United. I think De Ligt is a very, very good player to have. Maguire, listen, we're going to keep it for next year. That's already been confirmed. That was confirmed in January. I think after that he then will be released, but it's a big season for Maguire. He had a lot of minutes last season, or the season that's just gone, and he's had a really big impact on this team, a quality player. He is 33 now, so I think this would probably be his last season at Manchester United. Martinez, again, listen, a player who again struggled with injuries, had a big injury. Was it against Palace or West Ham? I can't remember, but against one of those teams at home, I remember he went down, and it did. I think it was West Ham. It just did. No, it can't be West Ham. Sorry, it was probably Palace. Yeah, I think it was Palace. Where he just went down and just didn't look good. And I hope Martinez can come back playing football. I think his attitude and mentality is second to none, and probably the best, or by far the best in this team, the standard which he has. Again, I'm just hoping he can get back playing that football. So yeah, listen, I'd keep Martinez, obviously keep Maguire as well. Malacia sell. Listen, he came in to be competition for sure, just hasn't worked out. Injuries as well, but yeah, I'd look at getting maybe 10 million if you can get that for Malacia. Dorgu, obviously, I think his fundamentals are very, very good. I think the basics of football he has got very well. He's athletic, he can run up and down the pitch, put in some good crossing into the box. You have to remember he's 20 years old, he came in mid-season, but I think there definitely is a player there for Ruben Amorim to work with. And if you develop him right, I think he can become a top quality player. Euro, for me, 100% keep. He's probably been our best and most consistent defender over the season. If you look at the games in which he's played left centre back, right centre back. Yes, he's had a few tricky moments and he's had injuries in his first season, but for me, he'd be a player I'd look at keeping. I think he has the quality. He's 19 years old, and yeah, he's absolutely fantastic. So I would 100% keep Lenny Yoro. I think he's fantastic, and what a good season he's had. Now, Dalot, again, an interesting one. Would you sell or keep Dalot now? I think it was last season. There are a lot of rumours about potentially Madrid coming in for Diego Dalot. Obviously, we know they signed Trent Alexander-Arnold now, so that deal probably is off the cards. But, well, they're going to sign Trent anyway. Dalot, for me, I'd keep. I think, listen, he's not a right wing back, but I think he can have moments in there as an understudy for Mbuemo if we sign him there, or Ahmad who plays in that position. But for me, I'd keep Diego Dallo. I think he's an ultimate professional, someone who works hard and fights for the club. And I think a very, very decent player as well, to be fair. Now, Luke Shaw, Luke Shaw has to go. Was it 11 seasons now at the club? And has probably only been fit for about 3 of those 11 seasons. Like, he's just not good enough for Manchester United. Yes, he'd come back from injury and could have some good moments, but his injuries are just woeful. He's on over 200 grand a week, and for me, he would be one of the first players I'd look at leaving. I think he's just a problem. I think the amount of money, the amount of wages, he's blocking someone like a Fredrickson or an Amas to come through. Even a Kokonki. Aiden Heaven, one of the best signings, I think, in terms of value for money. £1.5 million we've made. Yes, as I said, he's had injury problems, but a very, very good player. Good on the ball. Will probably be our starting left centre back going into next season. But yeah, for me, I'm very, very happy with him. Johnny Evans obviously will be leaving. He's a great servant to the club. Someone who obviously 2 spells at the club, won everything there is. 3 Premier Leagues, a Champions League, FA Cup, Carabao Cup, won everything. So very happy with Johnny Evans, but obviously he would be a sell. We're not going to get any money for him. Now, Harry Amas, again, there's a player there. He'd be someone I'd keep at the club. He's only just turned 18, and in terms of the minutes which he's had this season, I thought he's done well. Now, again, this would be the perfect example. You sell Shaw, then any of the minutes you would give to Luke Shaw, you just give to Harry Amas instead. I think there's a future with him at the club. He's technical, up and coming. And he's one of the best players when he was at Watford Academy, and now at Manchester United. He's also done a very good job, so I'd keep him at the club for the time being. Now, Fredrickson, listen, I've actually been impressed with the games that Fredrickson played from his debut against Wolves. He started at Brentford. Obviously, he played the other day in a pre-season friendly. I think there's a player there. He could be one of those similar to Amas that you keep and probably have him as a squad player or potentially sell him. But listen, Fredrickson, for me, young player, made his debut. It's always good to have academy players in the squad, so I would keep him for now. Entering midfielders, Mason Mount for me would be a sell. Actually, no, I'd keep him for one more season, actually. I think, listen, he's had a tricky time with injury. The season that he had at the club, or the 2 seasons he's had at the club, have not been how you wanted it to. I think he's slowly come back, and hopefully he can get to full fitness, because he's a quality player and he fits the system fantastically. A player Ruben Amorim likes a lot. So, listen, I'd keep Mason Mount for now. Bruno, 100% keep. I think he's a player for me who just symbolises what it is to be a United player on and off the pitch. He's a fantastic leader, player. And listen, Al Hilal, it doesn't look like he's going to go to them at this current moment, which is a positive for Manchester United, because, as I said, the impact he has on this team is fantastic, and it's one of the best players, is the best player in the team and one of the best players in the Premier League over recent years. So I would keep Bruno Fernandes. Eriksen, obviously he has been released on a free agent to sell. Casemiro, interesting one. Listen, I think there's so many positives with Casemiro, his leadership, his experience, his quality, his ability to big games, but you have to look at he's 33 now, 350 grand a week. You can reinvest it to allow younger players to come through, and I think that would be where I'd looking at. I'd look to sell Casemiro, maybe get 20 to 25 million pound for him. As I said, last season, a lot of people probably would have sold him. He's had a tricky season at the start, and then towards the end, he kind of improved it. But I'd look at selling Casemiro. Ugarte, again, a big money signing. Was it £50 million we paid for Ugarte? He's still 23, and he's still adapting to the league. Do I think he's good enough? No. But he will probably be someone that we do keep at Manchester United. Kobbie Mainoo a keep. I mean, Kobbie Mainoo technically on the ball, he's fantastic. And yes, he probably doesn't fit into the system, but I'd 100% look at keeping him and putting him into the team somewhere, whether that's 10. I think he's better progressing the ball forward. So yeah, I'd keep Kobbie 100%. Collier now is an interesting one. Again, towards the start of the season, he was coming on the games, getting minutes here and there. And listen, he's just a simple footballer, keeps it simple, CDM. I think, has he got it to be a United starter next season? I think he will be kept just as a squad player. And I think that's what will happen with Collier. As I said, he's found it difficult with injury, but for me, Collier would be a keep. Dan Gore, for me, I'd sell. He's had a tricky time with injury, but someone who I don't think will be part of the squad going into next season. At the forward line, interesting one. Højlund, sell immediately. I mean, I'm sorry, Rasmus. We've given him time. The 2 seasons he's had at the club. The first one was alright. This second one has been dreadful. big money move. Now reports that Inter and Juventus will be interested in signing him. I'd be so happy if he goes to them. Please, like, I'm sorry, he's just not a good footballer. He seems to regress from last season, and he's nowhere near good enough to be in a Manchester United team. So I'd sell him. Rashford, sell. Again, £40 million, please, whether that's Barca. I don't want to see him in the Premier League team, to be honest, so hopefully Barca will come and get the money for him. They want a loan with obligation. I would want to sell him. Now, Xerxes, for me, listen, the first couple months was dreadful. I remember, obviously, he got booed against Newcastle in, what was it, December time. The way he responded, come to that, he's fought for the shirt, and for me, has been fantastic, so I'd definitely give him another season. Ahmad, obviously, keep. Garnacho, sell. I think he's looking like he's going to get sold anyway. Garnacho, again, just doesn't have the attitude. Has the quality, but not the attitude to be a top United player. Again, he will be sold. Ruben Amorim has made that clear. He said, you better pray that you can find a new club. There's obviously been a fallout there. It will be interesting if we don't actually sell him and he stays at the club, what the future will be like then. But he just seems disinterested. And I think he just wants to leave the football club for the better of himself. Again, another similar to Rashford, you just don't want to see him in the Prem. Whether that's Napoli he goes to, looks the most likely destination now. Anthony sell. Listen, obviously he lost the Conference League final. He had a good spell at Betis. Hopefully he can get 20, 25, maybe 30 million for him. It would be absolutely perfect for someone like Anthony. He had a tough time at Manchester United, but I just don't think he has the quality to definitely fit in the system. But again, imagine if you sell Anthony, get 30, 40 million, that compete towards an Mbuemo or something like that. Ethan Wheatley, I think he'd be sold. Cheeto, probably keep. Could go on a loan, but again, he's been like in and around the first team, so I think he will stay. And Jadon Sancho would be a sell. Obviously, Chelsea want to give him back to United. I hope Chelsea, someone takes him, to be honest. Again, he's on a lot of wages, not good enough for the team. Again, he could probably be a decent player in the 10, but again, just doesn't have that attitude to do so. I think with Sancho, there's a worry. Like, I don't think he can make it back at United now. So whether that's Dortmund, whether that's going to Chelsea, or going to a different club, would be more than happy to do so. But that has been the keep, sell or loan. It's going to be a big summer for Manchester United. Now, if you look at the players that have sold, Binder, Onana, Lindelof, but he's gone. Lindelof, Malacia, Shaw, Johnny Evans, Ericsson, Dangor, Rashford, Anthony, Sancho. I think that's 14 players I've sold. So it's going to be a big window for Manchester United in terms of ingoings and outgoings. Again, in ingoings, you want to see hopefully a new keeper come in, a centre-back, a right 10. Obviously, we've got Cunha coming in as well already. So listen, it's looking like a big window for Manchester United. But let me know your thoughts. Drop a comment in the comment section below. Do you agree, disagree with some of the decisions that I made? Again, you'll probably see some that stay. I mean, Casemiro could well stay. Or some of them that I expected to stay could leave. For example, Delo or Cheeto or Bruno Fernandes. Again, like, there's still things to be happening. But we're at the start of the window. It hasn't actually opened yet. It's still another couple of days. But listen, it's going to be a big summer. And it's all about bringing in and setting those foundations for Manchester United to bring in players. Let me know who you would bring in, who you wouldn't bring in. Obviously, we've seen now in the last couple of hours, the Lap has gone to Chelsea, or will be going to Chelsea anyway. So that does really limit a big striker choice for Manchester United. But I'm hoping we get the funds and Barada and Wilcox and co, Vavell back Ruben Amorim, because I think he is the man to take us forward. But he does need the 100% support of the fans, which he has, but also the board. But let me know your thoughts, and I'll leave it there. Peace.